And joining me now, special guest, Lieutenant General Rameshwar Roy, former GOC 16 Corps. Pradeep Phanjubam is Manipur's distinguished journalist, former editor of the Imphal Free Press, joins me. And P. Haukip, Kuki BJP MLA, is also with us. I want to get reactions from each of you. First, Lieutenant General Roy, your reactions at the very outset. Drone attacks allegedly by Kuki militant organizations. Does this mark an escalation in a conflict that's gone on for more than 16 months? How worrying is this?
If we talk only in terms of an assessment that any disturbances in the border state which go on for as long as now a year and a half, if not today, then definitely in times to come, this likelihood may be there.
Right. Pradeep Phanjubam, how seriously do you see it on the ground there in Imphal? Do you see this as an escalation of the conflict once again? How worrying is it?
I think it's going to be an escalating factor in the sense that it's used from one side, the other side is also going to acquire those weapons, and then it's going to escalate unless the state steps in and then it takes control. And when I say the state, it doesn't mean only the state of Manipur, but also the Indian state as such, and then control the situation. That the idea of power must be with the state. Once that is made known, then I think it will be the escalation will be stopped. But right now, I think if you leave it to the conflict parties alone, I think it's going to escalate. Both sides will start acquiring those weapons, and then it's going to get worse.
So you believe that the security forces have to actually get strengthened now, because you've got the Chief Minister's son-in-law, Imo Singh, who's a BJP MLA, writing to the Home Minister saying, withdraw the central forces, we will handle this. You believe that there needs to be more security, not less.
I think the MLA was acting hastily, that he probably was agitated at what is happening. But I think what should happen is for the forces to be activated so that both sides are controlled. And also, since it's a drone warfare, I think they have to acquire the right kind of jammers so that they will be disabled as they launch these weapons. And that, I think, should be the preparation, that you disable these kind of weapons so that it is not used. And of course, there has to be the state showing its power, that if you have guns, we have bigger guns. That kind of thing should be the message to all combatants.
You know, you're making an important point. The state needs to sort of reassert its authority there in Manipur. Mr. Haukip, you've been a critic of the state government. I know you're with the BJP, but you've been a critic of the way Biren Singh's government has handled it. Now, the ball is on the other foot. They are saying Kuki militants are the ones who've got empowered, who are using these drone attacks to spread terror to target citizens. Your response?
Rajdeep, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Before we talk about drones being used by any party to the conflict, why don't you talk about the Chief Minister authorizing the use of 51-inch mortars against Kuki volunteers who are forced to protect their villages post the 3rd of May 2023, where under his watch, ethnic cleansing on the Kuki people have been recklessly and wantonly carried out, and all residents of Kukis from Imphal have been cleansed. Why don't we talk about the leaked tapes, wherein the Chief Minister, in his own voice, I know his tone and tenor, he cannot deny this, has boasted to his constituents that despite the Union Home Minister instructing him not to use bombs, he had instructed, after the Union Home Minister had left, he had instructed the commandos.
So are you saying these drone attacks therefore are a reaction? Are you saying that we are caught in this cycle of violence? But that's terrible. Either way, nobody is talking the language of peace. I mean, you are attacking your own Chief Minister. He in turn is now blaming Kuki organizations. No one is talking the language of peace, Mr. Haukip.
Rajdeep, the language of peace can begin when there is a sense of justice that begins to take roots. When the state machinery and the state forces are siding with a particular community in an ethnic flare up like this and turning it into ethnic persecution and ethnic cleansing, where is justice? And how can we talk about peace without justice, without a sense of justice?
Okay, let me just take that to Pradeep Phanjubam. Pradeep, you're hearing from a Kuki MLA saying you can't have peace without justice. Now, in the process of no peace, you've got possibly armed militias on all sides in these kind of no-hold-barred conflict. Do you see this peace with justice really echoing among the people?
I think there would be a section of the people on both sides who want peace, and there are also warmongers who want the war to carry on, the pot to keep boiling, so that they get the benefit of it. The conflict also has vested interests who get benefit. No, I can even say many politicians would be, because they can take mileage out of it to win their next elections. But what is ultimately necessary is peace, and for all to share this idea of victimhood and come forward and then strike that peace deal, which should be a consensual kind of an arrangement where everybody is happy, where there's part of everybody in that settlement.
Okay, let me bring in General Roy again. General, as I said earlier, now you've got the Manipur Chief Minister's son-in-law, Imo Singh, and MLA, saying that the central forces should be withdrawn. Do you think in a moment like this it's a wise thing to do? Can state forces handle what's happening in Manipur? Surely you need more forces actually at the moment to establish complete control in Manipur.
This is very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate that at a time when we have been using the army and Assam Rifle under the operational command of the army to control the escalating situations of insurgency in the border states in the northeast for the last about, I would say, nearly 75 years, ever since our independence. How would it be that state force will be able to control such escalation and not allow the central forces to work in these places? I know one thing, that clearly Imphal has been out of Armed Forces Special Power Act for a long time, and one of the reasons why it is also taken as a safe zone for many of the militants and the terrorists, for this reason that it is outside zone of Armed Forces Special Power Act. So I absolutely do not subscribe to this view that the entire situation can be handed over to a state force or the state police and not allow the control by the central security agencies.
Mr. Haukip, you wanted to make a point there. Is there a need for more forces on the ground?
Rasdeep, I think it's not so much about the number of forces deployed. It is about a political direction and political determination. It lacks political direction. The central forces are here just to maintain the buffer zones. They should be empowered to recover the 5,000 plus arms that have been gifted away to the Arambai Tengol, the Meitei militia. Until and unless those arms are recovered, talking about peace is an illusion.
No, but Mr. Haukip, surely leaders like you should also be questioning the manner in which Kuki militants are now being accused of trying to take advantage of the situation in the state. So while we can blame Meitei militants, we can blame the state government, everyone has a responsibility. I come back to it. No one is talking the language of real peace.
I agree with you, Rasdeep, but where is the question of the Kuki volunteers trying to take advantage of anything? They're protecting villages on the fringes, and attacks have been coming from the other side always. Let me give you an example. The recent incident at Kotru was a spin-off from an ambush laid by armed militia of the Arambai Tengol on Kuki village volunteers who were protecting the only route connecting Kangkokpi and Lamka.
No, but is it possible to disarm all these militias? Shouldn't that be the first step, that all militias should be disarmed?
I agree with you completely. But as long as the 5,000 plus arms of the state forces that have been gifted to Rambai Tengol have been recovered, there is no chance of peace in Manipur.
Okay, I want to give a final word to you, Pradeep Panjwani. Do you see peace at all now in the near future? If you were to give one suggestion to the center, what would it be?
I think it is for the state. I'm talking about Indian state as such to take charge. Right now, what's happening is you're living it up to those people fighting, and this will escalate. One side arms, the other side will also arm, and that is what is happening. The arms looting that happened in that period of time happened on both sides, except that the armories are bigger in Imphal, so that the number of arms looted there in Imphal is much more.
Right.
The valley is much more, but it also happened in the hills. So the thing is for the state to actually assert its authority, say that nobody will be allowed to do this.
So you're actually calling in for more forces. You need more forces. You need them to be stationed in a manner that they can assert.
Not just in numbers, but in action. That you say you have to assert that authority, say that nobody is allowed to do this.
Right.
Anybody who breaks the law will be punished. That kind of message should come about loudly and with determination. Yeah.
Okay, let me leave it there. I appreciate my guest joining us. As I said, think about this. If this was happening in any other part of the country, there would be blazing headlines, breaking news. But this is Manipur. And I promise you one thing, here on the news today, we will continue to focus on Manipur. It is an integral part of a country called India. Think about it.